Do you ever wonder why some people get fired and others, they stick around forever? And you're like, wait a minute, I'm doing my job, I do my job better than anybody else, and I still got terminated. Why? Why did that happen? Because sometimes we are delusional about the job that we have. Sometimes we think, hey man, all I have to do is a great job and I'm gonna be safe. My job is fine. Doesn't matter how I treat my boss, doesn't matter how I treat my coworkers, as long as I'm getting the job done and that job is finished, man, I'm good to go. I'm here to tell you, you're delusional, because there's a twofold mission that every employee has to have. And by the way, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO, you still have a boss. It's called a board of directors. And if you are a middle manager, you clearly have a boss. And if you're an entry-level worker, you know you have a boss. But there's this duality. If you find yourself in the middle, anywhere from the middle to the top, man, you have two directions. You have a boss and you have people that you supervise. You are a manager leader. You manage things, you lead people. But you also have a responsibility to build a relationship with your boss. If you are not focused on building a relationship with the person that controls your job, man, I'm telling you, you're doing something wrong. You have to build that relationship, because if we're not building that relationship, if we're not investing time in that relationship, what happens? Man, you may be doing a great job, but let's say something else comes up. Company's got layoffs. Who's your boss gonna get rid of? He's gonna stick around, he's gonna keep, he or she, they're gonna keep the ones they know, like, and trust. And if somebody else, maybe they're not getting the job done quite as well as you are, but they've built that relationship, guess what? They're gonna stick around. And some of you are like, oh, the suck-ups they're the ones that get promoted, they're the ones that get the jobs. You're right, because they built the relationship. They took the time to build the relationship with their boss, and they get the job done. The difference is sometimes we sit here thinking, well, as long as I'm doing my job is safe. No, it's not. I promise you, it's not. It's not safe. So stop thinking that way. We have to think differently. We have to think in the duality of building the relationship as well as getting the job done. Who owns your job? Who owns it? You do not own your job. Your boss owns your job, because your boss is responsible for the outcomes of your job, right? So what is your role? Your job and your role is to make your boss look good. So if you're the CEO, your role is to make the board of directors look good. If you are an entry-level employee, your job is to make two things. Again, your boss happy and make your boss look good. And who's the real boss in any business? The real boss is the customer. If we're not making the customer happy, man, the customer can fire us today. They can fire us anytime they want. Why? Because they're the real boss, right? They're the ones bringing the money. People vote with their money every single day. So again, just remember, twofold mission: build a relationship with our boss and get the job done. A lot of times we can get a little complacent and think, hey, I'm gonna be fine, I'm safe, I've got all this work I'm doing, I'm hyper-focused on getting the work done. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't get delusional. Don't get to the point where you're just like, I don't need to work on that, because I'm promising you, you need to work on that. In an economy like today, you need to work on that. And in whose world would it be okay just to not build a relationship with a person that hired you in the first place? It just makes sense to build that relationship. Some of you are trying to go over your boss's head and cutting their legs out from under them, undermining your own boss and trying to get ahead of them. That never works out well. It's not gonna work out well for you. Don't do it. I'm telling you, build the relationship with your boss, show them the respect they deserve, treat them the way you want your subordinates to treat you, and we're gonna move further, faster. I promise you that. All right, hope this helps.